Hi guys, hope you're all okay. It's Chantel, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna start my Halloween series. I love Halloween, I love everything about it. It's one of my favourite times of year, and I just thought it would be really interesting to do a few little videos on different things about Halloween and things like that, all around perfume. So I'm going to start that today, but before we get started, could you all please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and press the notification bell and you'll get updated when I put my next video up. So if you're interested in these little Halloween sequences, you'll be notified as soon as the next one goes up, and please give us a big thumbs up if you like the video. So we're going to start today by doing Serge Lutens fragrances and the dark meanings behind them. Now, Serge Lutens is a brand I love. I really love his fragrances. They're very different. They're out the box. He doesn't go mainstream in any way. And I just love how they're so different. But a lot of them have a really dark meaning to them, so we're going to get into that today. And the first one that I want to talk about is Serge Lutens Datura Noir. Now this stands for dark datura, and the datura is a plant from the nightshade family. It's a real poisonous toxic plant, and what Serge used as the idea behind this fragrance was when witches, like back years ago, when witches, or thought to be witches, got burnt at the stake, they used to spread the ashes, and on top of the ashes they used to place a datura. Now that was to ward off everyone and let them know that there was a witch buried there and to stay away from the grave. And obviously with it being a poisonous, toxic plant, no one went near. So I thought that was really interesting, and it made me think of like Salem and the witch trials, and I thought it was such an amazing background to this fragrance, and I really love the little story behind it. But to me, I don't see this fragrance as a dark fragrance in any way. To me, I get like a lovely, summery, nighttime fragrance. It's stunning. It's coconut and almond. I get quite a lot of tuberose in there, and it's super creamy and just beautiful. I just love wearing this if I'm going for a night out, like in the summertime, or if we're going like for a meal on a summer's evening when it's still really hot. And especially if I'm on holiday on a night time, this is a perfect fragrance, and I really love it. But I do also love the dark meaning behind it, and a lot of Serge fragrances have that dark meaning, which I love. I love anything dark and mysterious, so I love this line altogether. So the next one I'm going to talk about is La Religieuse, and this one takes you back to 1942 in France. It was a dark, cold winter's night. There was snow on the ground, and it was the night that Serge Lutens was born, and this fragrance resembles his birth. So what happened was, it was, as I say, winter time. It was freezing cold, snow on the ground, a dark night in Paris, and Serge's mother went into labour, and she went to like this convent run by nuns to give birth. And because she was a single parent, she didn't have a partner. They treated her really, really bad, and they just really frowned upon her, and she had an awful, awful time, an awful labour, just because she was treated so rubbish by them, which I think's such a sad story. But this fragrance really sets the scene. you get a lot of jasmine, and Serge Lutens always says that jasmine petals are as white as snow, so it reminds him of that snowy eve, which he didn't know anything about his mother's awful time until he was a lot older. And when he found out and he created this fragrance, I think it was just so sad for him. It's awful, such an awful story. Also musk and incense in this one, and the incense really gives it that sort of churchy vibe, so it really makes me think of that convent with all the nuns, and it's a real, it does make you think of that sort of scene. And it also is quite animalic. It's got civet in there. It just gives it a little bit of a more dark, mysterious vibe. To me, this is a stunning jasmine fragrance. If you like jasmine fragrances, I think you'd love this. It is quite dark, quite mysterious, but if you like your darker fragrances and jasmine, you'd love it. And look at the juice. It's like this dark sort of purple juice. I just think it's stunning. I love how all the fragrances are like different colours. I think that's beautiful. So yeah, I really like this one, and it does really set the scene of his mother giving birth and the awful time she had in the convent. But it's a stunning, stunning fragrance. It's got a little bit of like a fizz to it, like a fizzy sort of jasmine sparkly fragrance with a little bit darkness. I really love this one. This is one of my favourite Serge Lutens fragrances. Stunning. So the final fragrance I want to talk about today is Vitriol Dwellet, and this is a carnation fragrance. And what it was, Serge Lutens is very, very interested in like the British Victorian times and all British history really, but he based this on like a old-fashioned Victorian gentleman wearing like a carnation in their buttonhole. But the dark meaning to it is the fragrance was actually based on Jack the Ripper, and the accounts where people had thought to have seen him, and he was dressed like a real old-fashioned Victorian gentleman with the buttonhole, the carnation in his buttonhole, and he just looked like a normal gentleman of the times, but yet he was this serial killer. So yeah, I think that's a real dark background to this fragrance, and I think it's really fascinating. And I love how Serge Lutens' mind works. He can just make something out of like any setting really, and I just love that. And I love like the dark mysterious vibes of all the fragrances, and quite a lot of his have got like a dark meaning to them. I just love that. So this one is like a real spicy carnation fragrance. Now I must admit this isn't my favourite at all. I'm not that keen on it because I don't think I like carnation in fragrances. It's just a note I'm not really keen on. But this is like a real spicy carnation, and it's got a lot of like pepper and clove, it's got paprika, and it's got nutmeg, so it is like a real spicy floral fragrance. But it's, if you like carnation and fragrances, I think you would love this, but it's just something about it I don't like. It has got a bit of a dark vibe with it being like that spicy fragrance. It does take me back to like a setting of the dark streets in London when they had all like the little back alleys and the off shots, and like it may be a dark wet night. Yeah, it's such a strange one, very, very unique, very different. None of these are going to be for everyone, but this one in particular I'm not fond of, but I can see quite a lot of people would like it. And then again, it's got like this, it's like a light sort of, really light, just off clear. It's got like a lilac sort of tinge to it. So I love that the liquid again is a different colour. I just think they're so beautifully done, these fragrances. So gorgeous. But yeah, this one just isn't for me, but I can see a lot of people would like this one. But it's more about the meanings to the fragrances today and a little bit of the dark, mysterious background of Serge Lutens fragrances. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I love doing it. I love doing a little bit research on Serge Lutens. I find them totally fascinating. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and thanks for all your continued support. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.